Harry Houdini, the legendary escape artist, captivated audiences worldwide with his death-defying stunts and illusions, but his final trick remains shrouded in mystery. On October 31st, 1926, Houdini died after suffering a ruptured appendix, a condition allegedly caused by a punch to the stomach from a fan testing his famed physical endurance. Yet rumors persist that his death was no accident. Dr. Rachel Meyer, a historian specializing in early 20th century entertainment, became obsessed with Houdini's story while researching his archives. Among his personal belongings, she discovered a locked box labeled The Final Act. Inside were blueprints for an elaborate contraption, cryptic notes referencing the veil between worlds, and a letter addressed to his wife Bess which read, "If I fail, seek the truth beyond the curtain." Intrigued, Rachel traveled to the Houdini Museum in Appleton, Wisconsin, where many of his props were preserved. She focused on a peculiar device known as the Spirit Cabinet, a wooden enclosure Houdini used during seances to debunk fraudulent mediums. The cabinet had strange carvings along its edges, symbols resembling ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, and a hidden compartment containing a small crystal orb. Rachel decided to recreate the Spirit Cabinet using Houdini's blueprints. As she assembled it, she noticed odd occurrences, tools moving on their own, faint whispers echoing in her workshop, and shadows shifting unnaturally. Ignoring her unease, she completed the cabinet and placed the crystal orb inside, as instructed by the notes. That night, Rachel conducted her own seance within the cabinet. Following Houdini's instructions, she lit candles around the room and recited an incantation written in his handwriting. Suddenly, the air grew cold, and the candles flickered violently. A voice boomed through the room. "Who dares disturb my rest?" Terrified but determined, Rachel asked, "Houdini, is this your final trick?" The voice responded, "I sought to pierce the veil, but it consumed me. Beware what lies beyond." Before she could ask more, the cabinet slammed shut, trapping her inside. The walls began glowing with the same symbols carved into the cabinet, and visions flooded her mind. Images of Houdini performing his last act, surrounded by hooded figures chanting in an unknown tongue. When Rachel regained consciousness, she found herself outside the cabinet. The crystal orb shattered at her feet. Scattered across the floor were fragments of parchment bearing new messages. The key lies in the stars, and only those who understand can cross. She realized Houdini hadn't merely been an illusionist. He had been experimenting with forces beyond human comprehension. Her research led her to Houdini's secret correspondence with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, a fervent believer in spiritualism. Doyle believed Houdini possessed supernatural abilities, masked as magic, while Houdini insisted he was exposing frauds. Yet their letters hinted at a deeper collaboration, an attempt to contact entities from another dimension. Rachel pieced together the clues. Houdini's final trick wasn't meant to entertain, but to transcend. He had planned to use the Spirit Cabinet to breach the boundary between life and death, seeking proof of an afterlife. However, something went wrong. The hooded figures in her vision weren't allies. They were guardians preventing humans from crossing over. Days later, Rachel received a package with no return address. Inside was a photograph of Houdini standing beside the Spirit Cabinet, his face blurred except for his eyes, which seemed to stare directly at her. On the back, scrawled in faded ink, were the words, "The curtain awaits. Subscribe to Mystic Shadows for answers."